It is back to school or back to college or university, whatever you want to call it. And many students are looking to invest in a new laptop before starting their college journey. Brands also provide student discounts and other lucrative deals to attract these students to purchase a new laptop during this time. Gautam plans to make a review of his Mac soon for the people looking for that. But for those people who want a Windows laptop, I'll be sharing my experience with the HP Spectre x360 laptop, which I bought almost 6 months back in the month of March. Without any further delay, let's begin. Let's start by talking about the performance, of course. The HP Spectre is equipped with the Intel Core Ultra 7 155H processor with 16 cores and 22 threads and Intel Arc graphics. Specifications aside, let's talk about how the performance is. For casual use like watching YouTube videos, browsing the web, using Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc., which is usually what I do, this laptop will not give you any problems. Coming to more demanding tasks like video editing, which I also do regularly, and gaming, which I do occasionally, I was mainly using DaVinci Resolve for editing the podcast episodes and some of the YouTube videos as well, and it is generally a very smooth experience coming through the timeline, adding images. I don't do advanced editing, I just do the basic thing. If you watch our videos, you'd know. In terms of export time, it varies, but I'm very happy compared to my previous laptop. For example, one of our latest episodes was over an hour long, and the export time was only around 8 minutes. Like my previous laptop would have taken 2 hours to export the 1 hour episode. So compared to that, I'm very happy. Coming to gaming, I don't play any of the AAA games like GTA or any of those, but I do play a bit of Fall Guys and Among Us occasionally, and when I did, I didn't notice any frame drops or lags. The only problem though, which I think is common to all Windows laptops, is the fans roaring at the maximum speed, which makes things a bit noisy, but I've seen the fans come on only if I'm video editing or playing games, so it's fine. It's a trade-off you have to deal with in terms of the Windows lineup. Overall, if I had to give a rating, I'd give overall performance a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. Moving on to the display, the HP Spectre comes with a 14-inch 2.8K OLED multi-touch enabled 48 to 120 Hz 0.2 millisecond response time, UWVA, edge-to-edge glass, micro edge, anti-reflection Corning Gorilla Glass NBT, low blue light, HDR 400 nits, HDR 500 nits, 100% DCI-P3 display. This was everything that was mentioned on the spec sheet. Spec sheet aside, let's talk about the reality. One thing Gautam noticed when we were making the Windows versus Mac comparison is that even though this is an OLED display, the blacks or the darker regions were not appearing black, but rather had a greenish tint to it. I rechecked it now before making the video, and I didn't see that greenish tint now. I don't know if it's fixed, but that's what we noticed. That aside, since this is an OLED display, my god, the colors reproduced are vibrant, punchy and eye-pleasing. Another thing I absolutely love about this display is that it's a touchscreen display. I know it's like a convenience feature, but once you get used to it, there's no going back. And that's why I said the day Apple launches a touchscreen MacBook, I will switch over. Overall, the display category gets a rating as high as 9 or 9.5 out of 10. Moving on to the general build and design of this laptop. The design of this laptop is a bit unique. It isn't rounded on all sides like a traditional laptop. At the bottom, it has this weird cut sort of a design as though the corners were cut off, and it makes it unique. The entire build is of aluminum and it's very sturdy, no flexing anywhere, so kudos to HP for that. The weight of the laptop is only 1.44 kg, which is decent. It doesn't feel that light though, it feels pretty heavy too when you carry it around. I haven't taken it out, but yeah, it shouldn't be a burden in your bag. One thing I noticed though is that even though there is a matte finish throughout the outside, it still attracts fingerprints easily, so you'll have to keep wiping it with the cloth or something to keep it fingerprint resistant. The port situation, however, is very poor with only one USB-A port. That too, it's like retractable. It's not like a proper USB-A port, so it becomes difficult to plug in devices at times. And there are two USB-C ports and a headphone jack. It misses out on an SD card slot or a HDMI port, which should have been there considering the price point. But to compensate for that, HP has provided a USB-C dock which has two USB-A ports and a HDMI port within the box. That is no additional charges, so that's a good thing. Since it's a touchscreen laptop, you also get a pen along with the laptop, so that's another thing. If you are into some creative work, you can make use of the pen. But then again, if your main work is designing or you're an artist, you should go for a tablet like the iPad. I'm digressing from the topic, let's move on. Next up is the keyboard, trackpad and camera. Let's talk about the camera first. No words can be less in HP's praise for what they have pulled off with the webcam. It's a 9 megapixel AI camera and its quality is unmatched to any laptop, even the MacBook in my opinion. Couple that with the Windows Studio features like portrait blur, eye contact and automatic framing, you have an excellent webcam that does all you need, be it video calls or even recording videos. Like this one I'm recording using the webcam itself. So the camera is a 10 out of 10 for me. The keyboard, like I said, in the Windows versus Mac comparison, is that the keyboard isn't tactile like the MacBook, but it is comfortable to type on and the key travel is also good. I would say the keyboard overall is a 8 out of 10 for me. Coming to the trackpad, it is decently sized, but one thing I felt that it isn't as responsive as my previous laptop. Don't get me wrong, if I'm using the trackpad normally, it has no issues whatsoever. And since the trackpad is so huge, HP has also included a feature of swiping on the leftmost or rightmost side of the trackpad to increase or decrease brightness and volume respectively. However, when you try to use the trackpad in odd angles, for example while eating, if you have to navigate through the YouTube homepage, which I often find myself doing, it is a bit hard. The cursor goes haywire and clicks on some video I don't want, and things like that. This might be me nitpicking, but that doesn't make it a bad trackpad. I'm just telling what I noticed. I'd rate the trackpad a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. Speakers on the HP Spectre are good too. They are top firing speakers compared to the Galaxy Book 4 Pro, which I was considering, and it also comes with top firing tweeters, and HP claims that this is the first PC with pitch perfect audio tuned by Poly Studio for elevated entertainment and crystal clear collaboration. The speakers get really loud and I didn't notice any distortions at higher volumes as well. HP also gives you the option of an equalizer in the My HP app if you want to fine tune the audio even further, which is something you don't see in other brands. Speakers for me is a solid 8 out of 10. Coming to the battery life, the laptop comes with a 68 watt-hour battery, and I usually keep my laptop plugged in since I'm always close to a wall outlet. But whenever I've used the laptop unplugged, it has been able to handle whatever I throw at it. I remember I was editing one of the videos or episodes and the laptop wasn't plugged in. I finished editing the episode and exported it, and I guess the charge dropped from 40 or 50% down to 20%. I don't know whether I'll be able to manage an entire day of carrying it to college because I haven't found the need to do so yet, but when I do, I'll give you guys an update. I went to the Windows settings to check if there's any battery stats available, and I did find one graph, so I'll put it up while editing the video so that you can maybe get an idea from that. Let's talk about the other small things and close out the video. The laptop comes with a 65 watt adapter, which is a big chonky one, so I bought the CMF 65 watt charger, which is more compact. You get Wi-Fi 7, so that's a good thing. They haven't skimped on that and given the latest one. Biometrics wise, you get a fingerprint sensor embedded in the power button and Face ID with Windows Hello, which is much faster to use, so I use that instead. There is only one variant of this laptop that comes with 32 GB of RAM and 1 TB storage, so you don't have to worry about that ever. Looking at you, Apple. Finally, coming to the price, the HP Spectre x360 14-inch with 32GB RAM and 1TB storage, which is the only variant that is available, is priced at 1,68,999 in India. I exchanged my old laptop, so I got a discount of around 25k, and a salesman in the offline store also bundled some headphones and wireless mouse, so I effectively paid 1.4 lakh. I know this is a lot of money for a laptop, but I was fixated on getting a touchscreen laptop, and this was the best in the market. Regardless, I would say if you're looking for a premium Windows laptop, I would say this is one of the best in the market right now, and I feel this gives tough competition to even the MacBooks in terms of overall value. So that was the review. If you found it useful and it helped your buying decision, like the video and subscribe to the channel so that we can make more such reviews in the future. Click here or here to watch the Windows versus Mac comparison for more clarity between the two platforms, and I'll catch you there. Bye!